Psycho chicken, qu'est-ce que c'est? We are now coming to the psychotherapy, terribly gone wrong, number 4 of 5. You see here, this is an individual therapy, a single therapy. God in heaven. Single therapy that I did during a so-called rehabilitation course, which should have lasted 6 weeks, but I could only stand the whole situation for 3 weeks, because we had not closed groups, which I could probably adapt myself to, but we had open groups. And actually, I had chosen a rehabilitation course because I had been told that there one could also have a single psychotherapy. And as before I was in the group therapy, this was not really promising. I said to myself, I do a rehabilitation course and I have a single therapy. Okay. 6 weeks. So this single therapy was always at the end of the week, on Friday. Nevertheless, this psychotherapist should have been the person who is also responsible for all the administrative aspects, like, for instance, absences due to a doctor's visit or something like this. I mean, how can I tell her at the end of the week that I'm absent? I did not know that lady. I call her Claudia. She was called differently, but something like Claudia. I hadn't seen her the whole week. So, okay, it was presumed that I'd go there for 6 weeks. So, the last day of the first week, I waited for that certain Claudia. She didn't come. I went through the whole house. I asked. She didn't come. So 20 minutes, of our 60 minutes that we had, of 60 fudging minutes, then she came after 20 minutes, late, because she had been in some kind of professional meeting or so. Okay, so I was already quite pissed. Then she was young. I mean, I can't explain the whole life to young girlies, Entschuldige, I can't anyway. I told her the whole story. This was a year when I had to tell the whole story at least 17 times, because after 17 times I did no longer count it. But it was one calendar year when I had to explain my whole story for 17 times. You feel the anger in my voice. So first, second of presumed 6 times. Second was, Mrs. Claudia is ill this week. You won't see her. You can tell the whole story again to Mrs. Ossi. I call her Mrs. Ossi. She was nice. I think she was even more competent than the bloody Miss Claudia. Yeah, I mean, oh, God. Right, then we came to the 3rd week. In the 3rd week, I was already pissed from the whole thing. And then again at the end of the week, and she was still eating breakfast, and then she danced with some dancey step in the small room where she waited until she had eaten or what. But I was already so terribly pissed by her, being sick, being late, being not interested. Okay, I think she had written something like 8 or 10 lines. Yeah, she had that on a piece of paper. That was a preparation for this 3rd time, which actually was the 2nd time. You see my problems in articulation when I'm so angry. All right. So I said to her, Mrs. Claudia, I cannot continue this thing with you. I will not continue the single or individual therapy with you. Sorry. So she sat there, took her pen, and made a whole a line over the 8 lines that she had written in preparation, or was this maybe the notes that she had written down during the first session that we had. Yeah. This was actually one of my most substantial steps to break off the whole thing. Yeah, this rehabilitation course, I call it. And, well, the clue comes now, 4th week. In the 4th week, and I must say I had a long travel to that rehabilitation center, yeah. In the 4th week, they put my psychotherapy hour with Mrs. Claudia, because the plan was already written, even before I had broken up the psychotherapy with her. The plan was written, and it was would have started last day of the week at 8 a.m. in the morning. I know that she sleeps and doesn't listen, and I know that I'm struck and knocked out when I have to go to the psychotherapy at 8 a.m., then it's better even not to go there. So this was the 4th of 5 steps. I do this in the pull down, so the newest is the last. This is now the 4 last trial.